No magic day. Bedtime, Princess Holly. Into your pajamas, says Nanny Plum. Yes, Nanny Plum. Abracadabra, clothes into pajamas, says Princess Holly, and her clothes were changed. Now let's just do magic so that you can go into your bed. And Princess Holly fly and into the bed. Wow! Magically brush your hair, and a brush appears and it brushes Princess Holly's hair. Oh, magic is so nice, says Princess Holly. What would we do without magic? Says Nanny Plum. Princess Holly said, but elves don't have magic. Elves are crazy. They don't even like talking about magic, says Nanny Plum. On the other hand, the wise old elf is observing moon and saying, magic, magic, magic. Tomorrow is the day. Tomorrow is the day. Wise old elf was saying happily. What happens tomorrow, wise old elf? Asked Ben. Once in the blue moon, the fairies' magic stops working, replies wise old elf. Stops working? Asked Barnaby. Yes, for a whole day, from sunrise to sunset, it will be no magic day, says wise old elf. But why? Asked Ben. Nobody knows why. Only that when the moon is blue, the magic does not work, says wise old elf. Oh, fairies without magic. For a whole day, says children. Morning time! Princess Holly gets out of the bed. Abracadabra, pajama into clothes. Oh, my wand is not working. Daddy, Daddy, my wand is not working. Princess Holly went downstairs to tell his father. Neither is mine, says King Thistle. Mine is not either, says Queen Thistle. Nanny Plum also came downstairs and said, oh, the magic stopped. How I am supposed to get dressed without magic, says King Thistle. We will just have to dress the old-fashioned way, says Queen Thistle. Old-fashioned way? Yes, by using our hands. Our hands? Says King Thistle. Do calm down, Your Majesty, says Queen Thistle. Dear, let's just have some breakfast while we think about what to do, says Queen Thistle. You are right, honey. Nanny Plum, magic up some breakfast, says King Thistle. Certainly, Your Majesty, says Nanny Plum. Zippity zoppity zop. Oh, I forgot. My wand doesn't work. What is wrong? Why there is no magic? Says King Thistle. At the same time, the doorbell rings, and King Thistle, along with everyone, went out to see who's there. Wise old elf was standing there and saying, Happy No Magic Day. Huh? What? Says King Thistle. Don't you know? Every blue moon, it's no magic day, says wise old elf. Oh, of course, says Queen Thistle. Yes, and I see you all are still in your pajamas. Had any breakfast? Says wise old elf. King Thistle says, No, angrily. The wise old elf was amused and he was like, Now you see, children, when fairies don't have magic, they can't do anything. Have you just come to laugh at us, wise old elf? Says Nanny Plum angrily. Yes, says wise old elf happily. I have a good mind to turn you into a frog, says Nanny Plum. Be my guest, wise old elf said happily. Abracadabra. Oh, Nanny Plum starts trying to do magic, but it's a no magic day. She got sad. Ha ha ha. As you see, children, the fairy wands don't work today, says wise old elf. Ben jumped towards Holly and said, "Oh, Holly, do you want some help?" "Oh, thanks, Ben," says Princess Holly. And all the elves kids were like, "We can all help," and went inside the castle. And everyone went inside the castle except Wise Old Elf. He was very happy and saying, "Happy No Magic Day. Bye-bye." Ben and Barnaby are with King Thistle in his bathroom, and King Thistle is very upset. "Normally, I wave my wand and warm water appears in the bath with lots of lovely bubbles," says King Thistle. "But have you tried the taps?" says Ben. "What taps?" says King Thistle. Ben came and opened the taps, and water starts coming out of the tap, and King Thistle was amused. "Oh, that's how it works." On the other hand, elf girls were trying to help Princess Holly in putting her dress, shoes, and brushing hair. "Put your feet in your shoes and your dress without magic, and this is how you brush your hair," says elf girls. Princess Holly was very happy to use her hands. She said, "Wow, it's really fun." In the kitchen, Nanny Plum was very upset. What I'm gonna do? The washing." "We will help you, Nanny Plum," said elf kids. "Thank you. Elves are good at washing up, and we are elves. Toot." On the other hand, the one elf kid is trying to teach Queen Holly how to put on TV without magic. "This is how you turn the TV on, by using remote." Queen Holly was amazed to see a lady in the television saying, "Weather in the little kingdom today will be bright and sunny everywhere." Queen Thistle was impressed, and she said, "Oh, very good." And Ben is still in the washroom with King Thistle, showing King Thistle how things work. Now he is showing how the flush works. "King Thistle, this works like this." He pressed the button and the flush works. And King Thistle was like, "Oh, how clever." The wise old elf is very happy and is going back to his home, the big oak tree. And on his way back, he met another elf and he was like, "Happy No Magic Day." Mr. Elf was a bit worried. He said, "Wise old elf, we are having a bit problem at the toy factory." "Oh, let's see it," said wise old elf. And then they both moved towards the basement. And the wise old elf was like, "That's strange. The escalator is not working." "Yes, wise old elf, nothing is working. The whole factory has stopped," Mr. Elf told wise old elf while coming downstairs. "Oh, but the elf factory never stops," says wise old elf. And when he reached over there, he saw that yes, it was stopped. The manager who was standing there in front of the toy factory was like, "We cannot make any toys and we are so worried about that." "But I don't understand. Why has everything stopped?" said wise old elf. Mr. Elf took the wise old elf into another room and said, "I think you should have a look at this, the elf engine." Mr. Elf showed wise old elf the elf engine, and he was like, "The elf engine has broken down." "Ah, elf engine, of course," the wise old elf said, thinking about something. "Oh, but what can we do now?" said Mr. Elf. The wise old elf tries to calm him down. "Well, let's not worry about it." "Huh? Not worry? But there are toys to be made," said Mr. Elf. Never mind. We will just have a day off," said wise old elf. Everyone was shocked to hear that. "And a day off?" They all said, "Yes, in honor of No Magic Day, we can all have a holiday," said Mr. Wise Old Elf. But the manager said, "There is no time for holidays. We have a big order of toys for an important customer." Well, the customer can wait," says Wise Old Elf. But the manager gave phone to Wise Old Elf and said, "You better tell him yourself." Hello, said wise old elf. Hello, it's Father Christmas here, said Santa. Oh, Mr. Christmas, said wise old elf. Oh, wise old elf, how are the toys coming along? I need them today, said Mr. Christmas. Yes, Mr. Christmas, no problem. And he hung the phone. How on earth are we going to get the toys made now? Now the wise old elf was worried. We will just fix the elf engine, said Mr. Elf. But I'm afraid we can't fix the engine. What? Why we can't? Elves can fix anything, said Mr. Elf. And we are elves. We can fix anything. Dude, said everyone together. Now the wise old elf is very sad. He's like, there is no way that engine is going to work today. Maybe it just ran out of fuel, said Mr. Elf. Yes, it has, said wise old elf. So, we will just get some more fuel. What does it run on? Steam or gas? No, the engine is powered by a very dangerous fuel, said wise old elf. On the other hand, in the little castle, Nanny Plum is trying to tell everyone about the breakfast. King Thistle is like, Nanny Plum, magic up some lunch, said King Thistle. Oh, but I can't, Your Majesty. It's a no magic day, says Nanny Plum. Then what we are going to eat? Said King Thistle very anxiously. Would you like to come to the great elf tree for lunch? Said Ben Elf. Oh, that's very kind of you, Ben, says Queen Holly. Yes, we have got lots of food, said Ben. Really? Then we shall take you up on your kind offer, said King Thistle. Everyone, King Thistle, Queen Thistle, Nanny Plum and kids went to the great elf tree for lunch. King Thistle was standing outside the door and calling everyone. Hello, is anyone here? Oh, it's very quiet here today. Then they all start going downstairs to the basement. Holly was like, Ben, was the escalator working? I don't know, replied Ben. King Thistle, along with everyone, reached the engine room where wise old elf was standing, very worried. With all the other elves, King Thistle asked him, why is old elf? What on earth is happening here? Well, nothing, replied wise old elf. But aren't there toys to be made? Said Ben. Yes, Ben, we have a big order for Father Christmas, but we can't make them, said wise old elf. Why not? Asked Princess Holly. Because elf engine is not working, said wise old elf. But we can fix. Elves are good at... Ben was trying to say something. No, it can't be fixed. The engine has run out of fuel, said wise old elf. And what kind of fuel does it use? Asked King Thistle. I can't say, wise old elf didn't want to tell him. I demand to know, said King Thistle. It's a secret, said wise old elf. The queen got angry and she interrupted. Wise old elf, what fuel does the elf engine use? Wise old elf starts sweating. What? Mustard? Said Barnaby. Marshmallows, said Princess Holly. Melted cheese, said Nanny Plum. Magic. What? Everyone gasped. What? Magic? Everyone was shocked. Oh my God, the great elf engine works on magic, said King Thistle. Yes, the wise old elf was very embarrassed. But you hate magic, says Nanny Plum. Yes, but it is a small carbon footprint and it never stops except today, said wise old elf. Nanny Plum comes forward and said, yes, because today is no magic day. There must be another way to run the factory, says Princess Holly. Yes, the emergency power, suggested Ben. Oh yes, of course, the emergency power, says wise old elf happily. But that's just a hamster wheel, says Nanny Plum. This is the emergency power unit, said wise old elf. Mr. Elf called all the elves. He was like, all elves on the hamster wheel. We will power the factory by foot. Can we help? Says Princess Holly, as all the elves were already on the hamster wheel and trying to run it. Good idea, Holly, says King Thistle. But your majesty, this is elf work, not fairy work, says wise old elf. We are all in it together, says Queen Thistle. You helped us this morning, now we can help you all, says Princess Holly. Yes, one and one for all, says King Thistle. Yeah, I suppose, says Nanny Plum. And everyone, all the elves and all the fairies, jumped onto the hamster wheel and started running. The wise old elf was very happy and he was like, thank you everyone. And the toy starts to move again. Oh, the elf factory is working again, announced Mr. Elf. Hooray! Let's hope we get these toys done in time, says the salesman. Yes, the day is nearly over, says the manager. Ah, the magic is back and the elf engine is working again, said Mr. Elf happily. The elf engine starts to work again, so the manager went to the hamster wheel and said, everyone off the hamster wheel. And everyone came down. The wise old elf was very happy. Oh, I am glad the engine is working again. The Nanny Plum said, oh, don't you mean the secret magic engine? Nanny Plum was trying to tease wise old elf. So now. Oh, now we know elves do magic sometimes, says Nanny Plum. The wise old elf was like, well, yes, we do magic, but we don't need magic to get dressed. Ha ha. Wise old elf starts laughing. Let's hear you laugh and I turn you into a frog, says Nanny Plum. Not today, Nanny Plum. It's a no magic day, says wise old elf. Then Ben reminded him, wise old elf, the magic day is over. Abracadabra, turned wise old elf into frog. And the wise old elf turned into a frog and everyone starts laughing. King Thistle said, oh good, the magic is back and the factory is working again and wise old elf is a frog. Everything is back to normal now. And everyone chanted, hooray! If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe my channel and press the like button. Bye-bye.